Capricorn. Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is going to be a general reading for July 2024. And in today's reading, we're going to be doing the Hermit's Lantern. And so we're going to start off by taking a deep dive into your shadow. And so we're going to be doing some shadow work. And so if you are unfamiliar with the term shadow or shadow work, I've left a really good video in my description box below called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And it's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares, where I have a lot of mental health videos that are really useful on your healing journey. And so this video is about facing your own shadow, and there's a lot of links in it that you can look at other videos on there, and it's all for free. And I think it'll help you if you're looking for some help with doing shadow work or a little bit more information about it. So, and then in number 2, we're going to look at what the origin of whatever this is coming up in your shadow. It's good to know, where it originally came from. And then we're going to look at how it's showing up in your daily life. Because if you don't deal with what's in your shadow, what's sitting in your unconscious that needs to be healed, it'll have a huge impact on everything, your decisions, especially your relationships in your daily life. So we're going to look at how it's showing up there because it's not healed. And then we're going to look at number 4, how you can heal it. So the tarot is going to give you some guidance on how you can start to heal it. And number 5 is going to tell us, once you start to heal this, how is your life going to change? How is it going to impact your life? So I think I have one announcement to make before I begin your reading. And that is, there have been some emails that have come to me about personal readings, and I finally decided, it's time. I had to get myself going with this channel, and because there's been emails that have come out, I think it's time. The universe is kind of saying, okay, I think you're ready to go now. So I'm almost ready to go. I just have to set up a payment system, and everything's just about ready to go. So I think probably the next week or early next week, you'll be getting a video in my community section for how you can sign up for a personal reading. There's going to be a choice of readings on there for you once you click on the link. And there's also going to be, I'm going to give you a 10% off coupon code that's going to be probably good for a couple of weeks. And yeah, you'll be able to use that, and that'll be in that video that I put out there. It won't be a code that I'll be putting up on these readings. Yeah, and I think that's about it. So let's begin with your reading. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck just for these first 5 cards that I pull out. And then I'll be using the I'm going to use the Lightseer's deck, Lightseer's Tarot, to clarify these 5 cards that come out for you. So let's begin. I want to begin with what's coming up for your shadow to heal. So I'm going to ask the tarot to give me 1 card for you. 1 card for Capricorn, please, that's coming up in their shadow for them to heal. Oh, it was way at the end. The 4 of Swords. Haven't seen that card come out in a bit. What is its origin of this 4 of Swords over here? What's the origin of it? That one wanted to come out. The 9 of Wands. How is it showing up in your daily life, Capricorn? How is this showing up in your daily life? This unhealed part of you, and it is the King of Cups. The King of Cups. And how can you heal this? So some advice from the tarot as to how you can heal this. 8 of Wands. And finally in the middle, how will your life start to change once you start to heal this? Too many cards there, about 4 cards or so. Just want one. How will your life begin to heal here, Capricorn, or change? One card here. It wanted to give me 2. So you have the Chariot in reverse, and you have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Now, put that deck away, and we'll turn to the Light Seers deck. I am going to pull an oracle card for you at the end too, from the Sacred Medicine deck here. So, forgot to tell you that. Hardest thing is to get on here, remember to say everything you want to say. Okay, one more shuffle, and then we'll get going. These shuffle nice. I remember when it was new, they were so stiff. Now they're starting to shuffle nice for me. Okay, so the 4 of Swords. Can I have some clarifiers for that, please? One or 2 cards to clarify. I have a Star card and 3 Cups. That's what's showing up for you. And clarification here, this 9 of Wands. Okay, you have the 8 of Swords in reverse. The King of Wands. Yep, King of Wands in reverse. Wasn't sure if it was a king or the knight. Over here, number 3. Let's have some clarifiers for that. See, making room for everything here. King of Cups. There's 1 and 2. Ace of Pentacles. And the Justice card. And this 8 of Swords over here. Can I have clarification for that, please? The High Priestess. The Knight of Wands. And the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. So let's start off, Capricorn, in January of 2024, so the beginning of this year. I put out some readings for your yearly overview of what's going to happen for you, and I picked in each reading, and they're in my description box, by the way. So in each reading, I picked out 12 cards for one for each month. And so I went back to your reading, and you had the Ace of Cups in reverse for July. So that's your overriding energy right here for this reading. The Ace of Cups talks to us about like a gift from the universe. It's a new start for you. The universe wants this new start for you. And you know, it's a gift, and you can always accept or reject a gift, but it's an offer. And normally we take it from the universe. And the Ace of Cups talks about the cups are emotions. And so it's an offer here to start feeling again, or to really, you know, take a deep dive into your emotions and start to feel them, where you get back into your body and out of your head, and go down into your body and start to feel. And but there's like there's a resistance here. It's in reverse, so that tells me that there's a resistance on your part to doing that. So we'll see how this plays out in that this reading right here for you. So let's start off with what's coming up from your shadow that needs to heal. And you have, so in your shadow you have the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords speaks about a time of getting back to you, taking time out for yourself and getting back to you and taking some rest. And so there's some real much needed rest here on your part to heal what's coming up here. What's needed, what's coming up from your shadow is a lot of healing, is what I'm seeing here. Because first there's this call here, first of all, to get quiet. And then there's this star card that comes up, which is in reverse, which the star always talks about healing. Taking some time out to heal. And that's in reverse here. So what I'm seeing is there's some real healing that needs to take place here. You've come a long way. And I think, there's a real need here to celebrate you. And so there's this, I'm going to say, like a lot of healing on your part that needs to be done, which kind of makes sense here in that you have the Ace of Cups as the overriding energy. And so it's really wanting you to get in touch with your emotions, because that's how you're going to heal. And so there's a resistance here, maybe a resistance to taking that time out for you to heal and putting you first. And this Three of Cups talks about, the celebration card of putting you first. So there is a lot in the month of July that's really, needed to be healed. It's coming up for you. So July is going to be a very healing month for you. So what in particular, like what is the origin of this healing that needs to take place here? Well, there's been some real, and this is really coming from your childhood here, where there's a real battle. This person's been through a lot. You've been through a lot. You've put up some walls. You've needed to put up boundaries. This tells me that you've been through a lot. The Eight of Swords is right behind it, and the Eight of Swords is really the Swords talks about a lot about our mental energy and being up in our head a lot. And this is in reverse because there is a real, like you're feeling in an upright position. This card feels like you are very, very, very much, you can't see a way out. And it's almost like, because this is in reverse, it's almost like you have given up on yourself, where it's like, for the longest time now, Capricorn, you have just saw no way out. You have been up in your head. And this Four of Swords here really tells me that you need a rest from these mental thoughts that you have in your head, because that's what swords are all about. And you're so tied up here, so up in your head, that you're needing some time out to really get out of your head, because all of your energy, if you've been feeling really exhausted lately, this is the reason why, because people don't realize it, that when you are up in your head all the time, and when you have all these mental thoughts that won't shut off, it can be absolutely exhausting. And that's probably what's going on here, is you're needing some rest from this mental energy of spinning. And the King of Wands comes out here, and the King is our masculine part of us. And we all have a masculine part, and we all have a feminine side to us, but not everybody will admit it or not even look at that. But Your masculine part is your ego self. And your ego self will keep you up in your head. It'll want you to stay up in your head because it doesn't want you to go into your body and start to feel those emotions, because that's where our emotions are. They're in our body. And it does not want you to go there because ego self is petrified, absolutely petrified of emotions. So scared. It's such a scared part of us. They want status quo. They don't want you to feel your emotions. It's like they're telling you, like, don't even touch them. Don't even go there. And I think that's what's happening is your ego self has really kept you up in your head, told you not to feel, don't go there. There's a real fear in you. And that's why you have this resistance, this Ace of Cups, and the universe wants you to feel, but there's this huge fear and this resistance to going back in your body and feeling these emotions and getting out of your head and realizing that you're not all tied up. You can get out of this. You can get out of this. So how is this showing up in your daily life? So this whole part of being up in your head and feeling like you can't get out of this, you're exhausted, you can't get out of these emotions, these ideas in your head all the time. Well, you have a King of Cups that's showing up, and the King is there, is the ego self again, but this time the ego self is saying, don't even go near those emotions. So your ego self is leading the show. Your masculine side of you, that ego part of you, is what's driving everything, and it does not want you to touch your emotions. There's an offer, another ace here from the universe, and it's the offer of the pentacle. And the pentacle is our body. It wants you to get back into that body. It wants you to start to ground yourself and get in there and feel some of those emotions, because there's some truth. There's truth behind all of this. This is the Judgment card. This is the one that's getting to what the truth is. Judgment card is all about bringing balance to your situation. The universe wants you to bring balance to this situation. Bring balance to your daily life. Bring balance to your daily life, because it doesn't look like you're grounded, because the universe is offering this for you, and because you need to get grounded again. When we are so much up in our head, we live in our head, and so we're not grounded. We're not grounded on this earth if we're just living up in our head all the time. And the universe says, I think what's happening is you're quite out of balance here, and it's showing up in your life because your true self and who you really are is not coming out, is not showing. You're not showing the rest of the world who you really are. And you know that. You know that your true self is hidden somewhere underneath all of this, but you can't seem to get a hold of it because you've got this ego self of yours that's saying, don't touch these emotions. And so you continue to just kind of to live up in your head. I need another clarification, I think, for how this is showing up in your daily life here. So I'm going to take this little deck right here, this mini deck, and I'm going to ask for some more clarification on how this is showing up in Capricorn's daily life right here. Can you give me some more clarification on this? Whoa. So you have a lot here. You have the Chariot card and the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Strength card. So you got a little bit of a story here for me. Sometimes when I ask for a card, I get too many. That's okay. So Chariot card says, how's it showing up? Well, the Chariot card talks about movement in our life, but it doesn't talk about the movement that we think. It talks about the inner movement of going inwards, but it's blocked here. So you're definitely someone, like I said, that's very much up in their head. You're not going inwards, and that would mean, like, even if you were searching for like a new direction or a new way out of this situation that you're in, of this, being up in your head so much, spinning. We have, we don't always have to use our mind. We can go inwards and get in touch with what's called our intuition. And we do that by getting back in our body, because that's how we get to our intuition. You have the 6 right here, the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles speaks about these two individuals right here where they're begging, and this individual is giving these beggars whatever they feel they deserve. If one asks for 3 coins, he gives them 3 coins. He weighs it out. This is really a card of your unworthiness, because what you feel about yourself is what you're getting back. So it's almost a card that's saying, it's a card of unworthiness. It's there is some unworthiness that's coming up here now, I think, and maybe that's why you're up in your head a lot, and maybe you're saying all these unworthy things about yourself that people have told you when you were younger. And then you have the 9 of Pentacles, and it's usually a card of abundance, and but it's just like you're just not feeling like you're getting ahead. And because it's in resistance here, where it's just, maybe it's in your workspace, maybe you're sitting in a job that you don't see a way out. The 9 of Pentacles, it's a pentacle, so it's material. It could be abundance in, maybe financial situation you're sitting in. Could be your health situation where you're just tied up. You don't see a way out of it. And the universe is saying here, well, the way out is to get back in your body and start to feel some of these emotions, especially if it has to do with your unworthiness. Strength card comes in. And the strength card is here, I think, just for a reminder from the universe that says, you are struggling right now. I can feel this is a real struggle, this reading, Capricorn. But the universe comes here and says, you can do this. You can, because the strength card is not about the strength to go on. It's the strength to go inwards. You are able to. The universe says, here's an Ace of Cups. Here's a new chance for you to start to feel some of these feelings you need to feel. You have the strength to go inwards. You have the strength to do this. Even though you don't feel like it, you do. And then how can you start to heal this? How can you start to heal your unworthiness? How can you start to move out of your head and get to ground yourself and to feel some of these emotions? How do you start? Well, you have to start by looking at what sort of things are you telling yourself about why you're all tied up here, of why you can't get out of this. Start to listen to these thoughts that your ego self is telling you. What sort of things is the king over here, the ego over here telling you? What are these thoughts that have to do with your unworthiness? You don't deserve this. You can't do this. You're not good enough. You're a piece of shit. What are these things that you're hearing? What are they? Get in touch with those. And you're going to do that by getting still, right? Because you need some stillness here. What are those things you're telling yourself? Start to become aware of that. Write them down on a piece of paper. Start to become aware of what they are. The High Priestess is the next card that comes out for you. And she's Major Arcana number 2. She's a big card. She is our intuition. She's our inner guidance. She's what we can reach when we go inwards and into our body. We can start to find out what we need to do. the universe wants you, first of all, to know that, there is a way out of this. And if you look at the bottom of this card here, where you see these puddles of water, it's not flowing, it's puddles. And emotions are meant to flow in, and they're meant to flow out of us. This individual right here feels so stuck. She thinks that her emotions are like puddles. They're just not flowing. They're not flowing like they should right here. And this is the High Priestess. This is this feminine quality that we all have, our inner guidance that's going to help us, that's going to guide us. We all have intuition. We all have it. But right now yours is blocked. Yours is blocked, and the universe wants you to get in touch with that by grounding and getting back into your body. Here's the Knight of Wands. The first knight in the deck that comes up here. The Knight is, I call them my freedom fighters in my deck. There is a part of you, this Knight of Wands, that wants the freedom to do what you want to do, to take your life in the direction you want to go into. But you feel so caught up in your head. You think there is no way out. But there's this big part of you, this freedom, that wants to take your life in a new direction. I can feel it. This is what this Knight of Wands is. They're going to fight for your freedom. They fight for it because they want to be authentic. They want to be you. They want to be real. And the last card that comes up here is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is, we did see it over here again, right? This is the Rider-Waite deck right here, the Six of Pentacles. And so the last card that comes up here, comes up again. And the universe wants you to look at this, and this is the unworthiness. This is your unworthiness that you have. So this is really what this unworthiness that you have, it's come up twice now. This unworthiness that you have about yourself is really what these emotional or these mental thought patterns that you have about yourself and how unworthy you are. This is really what's keeping you in your head and spinning. And it doesn't help when the ego self keeps repeating these over and over again, that you're unworthy. And these are things that people have told you, right? These are things that people have told you. So once you start to heal this unworthiness that you have about yourself, all these mental thoughts that you're telling yourself, how is your life going to change? We have the Chariot card, and the Chariot card is showing up again here, but this time it's like, how is your life going to change? Well, you're going to start to do the inner work. That's needed. That's really needed to heal this. And this Chariot card right here, in an upright position, we talked about, this charioteer he's not really moving. He's been controlling those sphinxes for the longest time with his mind, right? And so how will this all change your life once you go back into your body? Well, this whole mind controlling and trying to stay up in your head and control everything around you is now going to go inwards. And you're going to go back into your body. And you're going to get in touch with something here, which is really interesting here. There's something here that's hidden that you're going to get in touch with here. And so let's look at this card right here. This is first of all a generational card. It's the Ten of Pentacles. It's a generational card because you have 3 generations here going on. This old man, and then another generation in between, and then this younger child. So you look like about 3 different generations here. This man has a lot of wisdom, and he got his wisdom from this pentacle formation here. It's the formation of the Kabbalistic tree of life. It's from the Jewish culture. It's like a map where you study these nodes here. They're different. You study it, and they lead back to your roots and where you came from, right? So there's something about generations on this card. There's something about finding your roots, but it's hidden. It's blocked right now. When this comes up in my deck, because this is a healing channel, to me it represents some sort of trauma, some sort of generational trauma that, you know, that you're going to start to heal. And you might even be opening up something. We all have trauma. We all have trauma. But there's something here that, you know, has been weighing quite heavily on you. There is this, this real push from the universe to try to get you back into your body and out of your head and get rid of, you know, and try to get out of your head and become aware of the things that you're telling yourself, these unworthy things. Like, where did this come from? This came from somewhere. And there's some generational trauma here for you. And so I'm just going to pick one, hopefully I'm going to get one more card here. Just how will your life change, you know? One more card. Yeah, there it is right there. Three of Wands. Or sorry, the Two of Wands. You're going to start to find out what direction you need to go into. This is the beginning of a new direction for you. But you know, there's some work here that has to be done. There's some work here. There's some real healing that needs to be done on your part of this unworthiness connected with some generational trauma here. And then once you know, delve into that and you start to get back into your body and you start to feel, you're going to be taken into a new direction. You're going to know, because you're getting in touch with you're going to get in touch with your intuition when you get back into your body. So before I pull an oracle card for you from the Sacred Medicine deck, I really want to recommend a video playlist on grounding yourself, and another playlist on shame, because shame is the emotion that we're dealing with when we're dealing with unworthiness. So there's shame there. So shame and grounding. And then I'm going to leave you with one card here for you, an oracle card. Okay, one here can turn around. Reclamation, home. So let me see what that says about that. 27. For so long, you have searched for belonging, a space that feels like home to your spirit and your heart. Separation and disconnection are a result of the flawed systems in our society. And there are times when the connection to our belonging is fractured through traumatic life, familial and ancestral events. Your desire to belong is an inherent part of this human experience. There is no shame in the journey you have been on to find a safe connection where you feel accepted and seen. Today, this card calls you home to the very land that birthed you. Feel the vibration of the trees, the scent of the plants, and the movement of the animals welcoming you back, reclaiming you as you remember the land. This space is also filled with ancestral family that nourishes you more deeply than you ever thought possible. The energy of belonging moves through the cracks and broken parts of your sacred connection, mending the layers of what has been damaged and bringing you back to wholeness. What feels like home to you? Who feels like home to you? Focus on these aspects so that the energy of belonging may settle into your bones with comfort and nourishment. Feel the open arms of spirit and your ancestors welcoming you deeper into yourself. You are seen. You are loved. Wow. That is definitely why the universe wants to bring you back to yourself, you know? Grounding and starting to feel, just getting in touch with you again. So Capricorn, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This is definitely a difficult journey. It's the but it's the most important journey of your life, doing this shadow work. And I will talk soon. Bye.